I went from 98 kilos to 85 kilos in the space of a few months just by eating food that I love. I want to show you that you don't have to sacrifice certain ingredients, you don't have to eat bland food, you can make exactly what you like and still lose weight. We're making steak bites, mashed potato and creamy Diane sauce. These are the ingredients that we need for today's recipe, plus the additions of oil, salt and pepper. We'll start with the thing that takes the longest. That's going to be our potatoes. What I have here is 1 kilo or 2.2 pounds of all-rounder potatoes. All we're going to do is go through and peel these. If you prefer mash with peel in it, I know some people do, of course, just leave the peels on. With the peels, don't throw these away. You can cook them up in the air fryer or the oven. A little bit of oil and your favorite seasonings. They'll crisp up and you'll have these little potato chips to snack on. Go through and then chop the potatoes up. We want to get these all the same size. That way everything's going to cook at the same rate. And obviously, the bigger they are, the longer they are going to take to cook. Once you have them done, you should have something that looks like this. You don't want them too small. You want that nice bite-sized piece. These can then be placed into a pot. Fill them up with enough cold water to cover them by about an inch. Place them onto your stovetop, put this over a high heat and bring it up to a boil. And when it comes to a boil, we're going to cook them for about 18 to 22 minutes until they're fork tender and then we can drain them. Now for the rest of the ingredients, we'll grate 2 large garlic cloves on a microplane or 3 small ones. These ones are quite large. This prep is for the sauce, and I do find a paste is always going to get that better flavor. You can mince them up nice and fine as well if you prefer. Then just scrape all of that out and we can pop this aside. An optional ingredient is a small handful of flat leaf parsley, and I'm just going to go through and roughly chop this. It's going to be used as a garnish and only use it if you have it. Don't go out and waste money on the small amount of parsley. If you are chopping it up though, you want something that looks like this. Lastly, for the knife work is the steak. I'm using 900 grams or 2 pounds of rump steak, and you can use any cut of your choice. Just make sure you use something nice and lean with minimal fat. As for this, I'm going to slice it into strips. With those strips done, just rotate it slightly, and then we can dice this into the same size pieces, making sure that everything is that same size and it will all cook at the same rate. Just bear in mind that the size you cut it will depend on the cooking time, so the smaller it is, the quicker it's going to cook, and then obviously vice versa. Get this into a mixing bowl. I'm using a blend of onion and garlic powder, as well as some sweet paprika, and that's 1 teaspoon each. But you can use any of your favorite seasonings or steak rubs for this recipe, it doesn't matter. Season generously with salt. Add in about 15 cracks worth of black pepper, and I'm adding in 1 tablespoon of olive oil. Give this a mix with clean hands, just make sure all of that seasoning is thoroughly mixed through and everything's coated in all of the oil. And then we can pop this aside until we're ready to cook. Now for our sauce, we're going to be making a beef gravy. I am cheating and using beef gravy granules. This is a gravy-based sauce. It is absolutely delicious as well. This is 30 grams or 1 ounce of beef gravy granules. In total, we need 400 milliliters or 400 grams of boiling water, but I'm just going to start off with a cup or 250 milliliters just so we can make the gravy base. Just give that a whisk through just until it gets nice and thick. If you add too much water, it won't thicken, and then you will have to start again, and you're just wasting ingredients. Once it's thickened up, we can start adding in the remaining water. Just keep mixing it around. Like I said, roughly 400 milliliters or 400 grams. It will continue to thicken when we add it to the pan as well, so don't worry if it's too thin, because this is quite thin right now. Now, before we get cooking, I wanted to show you the Hume Health Body Pod. A lot of people obsess over weight. You wake up, you jump on the scale, and then you let that number dictate your entire day. But weight alone doesn't really tell you anything real. You could be building muscle and losing fat at the same time, but the scale doesn't budge, and the Hume Body Pod tells you exactly what's happening with your body. What this does is it scans your body in seconds. It's got 98% medical grade accuracy, and it's like having one of those $20,000 DEXA machines in your own home. It measures your muscle, fat, water, bone density, everything you need to know, and then the app breaks it down. The AI system gives you real insights and tells you exactly what you need to change. You're not just staring at a screen confused. It might be your movement, your sleep, your nutrition, all of it connects together. You can still enjoy delicious food like what we're making today, track your macros perfectly, hit your goals, and that is what makes the Hume Body Pod so good, because it just tells you everything you need to know. With this, you're going to get real results, real insights, and real data. It's helped me out tremendously being able to lose weight, being able to see exactly what's going on with my body. I have a link in the description as well as in the pinned comments. Use my code CHEFJACK in the checkout. You're going to get the discount applied as well as the discount that they currently have to save yourself up to 50% off. Thanks to Hume Health for sponsoring this video. Get a pan over a medium heat. We don't want too much heat in the pan right now. Add in 2 tablespoons or 28 grams of unsalted butter. While that's melting, we can add in our garlic, mix that around, and just allow it to become nice and fragrant. We only want to cook this for about 30 seconds while also helping that butter melt. Add in 10 grams or 0.3 ounces of tomato paste. Break that up, mix it through. We're going to cook this for 1 minute just to increase the depth of this sauce. At this point, we can add in the gravy we just made. Mix that all through, make sure everything is evenly combined, and then bring this up to a simmer. And we're going to cook this for about 1.5 to 2 minutes. If it does happen to get a little bit too thick, sometimes there's a little bit more corn flour or thickening agent in the gravy granules. You just add a little bit of water to thin it down. This has been simmering for about 2 minutes. As you can see, it's thickened up nicely. It's that gravy-like consistency. At this point, I'm going to add in 100 milliliters or 3.4 fluid ounces of low-fat thickened cream. Also adding in 1.5 tablespoons of Worcestershire sauce. Season lightly with salt. The gravy granules do contain a bit of sodium, and you can use ground white pepper or cracked black pepper. I'm using about 5 cracks worth. Mix that through. We're going to cook this for a further 1 minute. It's going to turn into that nice light brown sauce, and this smells and looks fantastic already. Just give it a try, adjust with any seasoning to your liking as well. If you've never tried Diane sauce before, I highly recommend giving it a try. If you've had stroganoff before, it's very similar to that. There's a couple of different changes in there, but it is quite similar. So after a couple of minutes, you've got a really nice smooth sauce. What you should have is a consistency that's pourable, but nice and thick. We can then remove this from the heat and just set it aside until we're ready to serve. Coming back to the mashed potatoes, these are cooked, they've been drained, we can add them back into that same pot. Add in 40 grams or 1.4 ounces of unsalted butter, 125 milliliters or half a cup of warmed milk. Add in a pinch of salt, and I'm also adding in a little bit of ground white pepper. Mash this up however you like. You can use a potato ricer, you can put it through a sieve to make it extra fine if you want to, but for this one, keeping it nice and rustic. While you're mashing, just make sure you mix all of the ingredients through as well. Once you're happy with it, just go through, give it a taste, adjust with any seasoning to your liking, and then we can pop this aside until we're ready to serve. Last but not least, get a pan over a high heat. Get this hot because we want to get a really nice sear onto our steak. If you're using a stainless steel pan, I do recommend adding in a touch more oil here just so nothing sticks. But for this, I'm going to be adding in the steak, doing this in batches. Just make sure it's spread evenly around the pan. If you overcrowd the pan, it's going to steam and you're not going to get a nice sear on the beef. And what we want to do is just let this sit for about a minute. So once that's done, should have a nice bit of color progressing onto that beef. What we'll do is just flip everything over, and you can cook these to your liking. I'm only cooking them for a total of 2 minutes because I like my beef on the rarer side, and we're also compensating because we will be reheating this later, and we don't want to have chewy, overcooked beef. So after about 2 minutes in total, you got a really nice color on the beef all over, exactly what we want. I'm going to remove this and then just repeat with the other batch. Now for serving up, I'm going to lay a bed of mash on the bottom. Now you can put this off to one side, but I'm going to be placing the steak bites over the top. Place the steak bites over the top and then just push them in a little bit so they sit nice and flat. And I like to do it this way because those steak juices are going to go into the mash and just flavor it even further. I have also put the Diane sauce in a separate container, but you're more than welcome to pour it over the top right now. It reheats perfectly fine either way. And then if you're using a little bit of flat leaf parsley, we can just garnish these up. Make sure you hit them with a little bit of cracked black pepper and a touch of sea salt flakes. Do this 4 more times to create 5 servings of this steak bites, the creamy mash, as well as that creamy Diane sauce, and this looks and smells absolutely incredible. Now let these cool down for about 15 to 20 minutes, place on the lids. They'll last 4 days in the fridge and 3 months in the freezer. The sauce can also be frozen as well, and it will last up to 1 week in the fridge. If you've learned anything from this video, you don't have to eat a lettuce leaf and a blueberry for dinner. You can have what you want, just stay within your deficit and stay active as well when you can. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel and give the video a like. It massively helps me out and helps the videos be seen by more people. I'm gonna pour that gravy straight over the top, get a bit of everything, and we can then dig in.